do you think you are?
Heavy high alert.
This is over.
They always find a way.
Not this time.
Who are you?
I'm your fairy godmother. I'm gonna fix all this.
That is not gonna work out the way you planned. We'll see who lives to tell the story.
All right, Oval fans. Wow. You all answered the call, because yesterday when I did a short about, hey, here's the return date of the show, but I don't yet have a good enough quality version of the trailer to actually do a breakdown, but a bunch of you answered the call. A good number of people either tagged me on Twitter or DM'd me on Instagram videos that they recorded from their televisions or computers so I can do the breakdown. So I appreciate you. Now, I will say there were just a couple of moments where the volume wasn't cut up really high, so I couldn't make out exactly what was being said, particularly by Eli at the beginning, even though I'm pretty sure he said stand down. And then towards the end, when it's the standoff where Hunter, I believe, is like mocking Eli's plan, and Eli's like, we'll see who lives to tell the story. But other than that, I think I have everything pretty much down. So yet again, thank you, and thank you to everybody who sent the trailer. So this video could happen. I'm just going to go out on a limb here. They'll probably officially drop the trailer on their social media pages probably sometime this week, because it's been airing on BET quite a lot. And also, a lot of people on Saturday sent the trailer. And another reason outside of quality that I didn't do a breakdown was because somebody sent me a 30-second version of the trailer, but it was way too far away from their phone that I couldn't really zoom in to see what was going on. So everybody was sending me 15 seconds, but I'm like, nah, because watch, I'll do a 15-second trailer breakdown, and then somebody will send me the 30-second one, and I'll be like, dang it. So that's why I waited a couple of days here, but I hope this is worth the wait for you. There are some new characters. I think one in particular, people are, you know, just like, okay, she's the reason I'm going to tune in. And, and I think it goes about saying that a lot of fans are wondering, is Dale in the show anymore? Or due to the whole Derek Dixon allegations, was this a potential explanation for the lengthy hiatus that Tyler and team went to the old editing room and opted to just completely erase Dale from the equation? Now, I'll discuss that a little later. I might do a separate video on it, but just know, I don't know diddly squat. But I do know this. I want to do a quick shout out to the channel members, Melvin Smith, Sandra, and Susan Miami. And if you want to become a channel member yourself, feel free to click the membership button. I believe they're all in the same tier. We love you tier. I think I have 2 tiers right now. Or we love you and we really love you. It's like $3, $5, something like that. Go check it out. Your comments will get a badge beside it, and I'll be able to see those first and foremost. So go ahead and do that if you like. And when it comes to the Oval, am I excited? No, not really. I think it's funny because part of me feels like the social media team looks at what I tweet, because whenever I say I'm not hyped for something, or I don't care if it comes back, that's when they drop a trailer. It's like, haha, release date. I'm like, oh, okay, y'all going to do this? Because it's ironic that the actress that plays Victoria apparently stated on Instagram in response to somebody in the comments section that the show was coming back in December. Then I put out a tweet. It's like, I don't care if it ever comes back. And then later that same day, hey, we're coming back in November. You're welcome. Okay, so we got a 30-second promo. Let's get down to business. Now, I believe we are finally getting what was promised. Now, I'm not going to hold you. I was under the impression that based off the pacing of season 6 and matching that of season 5, where it seemed like they were building up some big events only for us to have a dry season up until like the final couple of episodes. And I look, if you forgot, I don't blame you, because I had to pause this video of the trailer and I had to Google some of the character names. I sat here for like 3 minutes trying to remember Eli's wife's name, even though I love Kay Singleton and how beautiful she is. I'm like, holy crap, I don't know what her name is in the show. Simone. It took me about 45 seconds to remember Kyle's name, and I kept calling Alan every name under the sun except for a child of God before I finally remembered, oh, it's Alan. Man. But other than that, yeah, the National Guard, which, like I said, it was something that was being built up in the first half of the season. But, we talk about the slow pacing of Sisters, but when it comes to the Oval, they will drag out not a day, but they will drag out an evening or a night or even an hour for like 20 episodes. Because I thought, yeah, they're building up. Eli's going to call in the National Guard in the morning, but I bet that's not going to happen until like the mid-season or season finale of season 6. No, apparently this is happening within the opening episodes of season 6B. So Eli's like, stand down, and Victoria's like, who the hell do you think you are? And then I think that's what leads to that moment where Hunter says something about plans, and then Eli's looking all smug like, we'll see who lives to tell the story. Now, granted, this seems like a seemingly badass moment for Eli, but need I remind you, in the opening of this season, where this dude was a deer caught in headlights after the whole shootout between the Secret Service and Hunter's strike team, I guess is the best thing to label them as. So now he's acting all, oh, high and mighty, when it's like, bro, we know how much of a punk you are. So the National Guard starts firing, and I see that we have like Hunter and Priscilla and forgot dude's name. Okay. He's the guy who's like Hunter's right-hand bodyguard, and I know he played Paris in Sisters. I cannot think of his name in this show, and I did not feel like looking it up. But the tall bald guy. Yeah, so they're running. And I'm guessing once things, cool down, that's when the threats happen. Because there's a lot of standoffs here, because Hunter's like heavy high alert. And then we get a standoff where Kyle pulls out his gun, but then you got Bobby, Sam, and Max with their guns out on him. So after that, it looks like arrest happened, because I believe we see Hunter and Victoria smirking at each other, and it looks like they're in the same, holding cells that Hunter had Kareem and his cousin in. Now, I have no clue if these two characters are ever going to be shown in the series again. I just remember, I think Max was like the last character to interact with him. I think it had something to do with when they were trying to find Victoria, and she had hit her head in the... Yeah, she had hit her head on the commode or something. I forgot. But, yeah, so it seems that Eli wins, and Hunter and all his subordinates are locked away. So we have a scene in the kitchen where Lily is talking to Simone, and I can tell by the red dress, and she's like, this is over. So then they're in the Oval. It's Eli, Priscilla, Simone, and Lily just standing there kind of like, I guess, basking in their victory. But that's when we get an interesting scene here. So Crystal Stewart, aka Mallory from Beauty and Black, is introduced, and she walks into, I guess, like the holding cell or, an interrogation room to talk with Hunter. And he's like, who are you? Just call me your fairy godmother. So then she says that she's going to fix everything, and Sam lets her into the holding cell where Kyle and Donald are. So I believe that scene where Kyle is pulling his gun out against Max, Bobby, and Sam, that's probably where they both get apprehended. So she must be like the cleaner, so to speak. I don't know who sent her. Could it have been Victoria's father if he is still alive? It is possible. Maybe he feels like despite being an idiot, Hunter is a better fit for the Oval Office than the vice president. Maybe. I don't know. But from there, we go over to Priscilla, who's talking to Richard, saying, not this time. I don't know. Maybe Richard's telling her to be careful for like the 80th time, but Priscilla doesn't care. And another scene is that we see someone, it's a white person because I saw the hand. I can't tell who it is. They're looking at like a map or probably a tracker on their laptop. And we see like a couple of people rushing into a home and bursting through the front door. And we see Priscilla there. Now, I don't know if this is Priscilla's house or if she's over at Richard and Nancy's. Also, Nancy's not in the trailer. Sharon isn't in the trailer. Dale is maybe not in the trailer. So, And, we see a woman who's pressing Alan up against the wall. First things first, I'm like, Ellie, but I'm like, oh, that's not her. It looks like she has the same kind of physical build and the curls, but that's not her. I wonder if this is the same woman that came into Alan's office and Alan chewed her out because she didn't follow protocol. And I think Kyle was the one that said, oh, I sent her to just test your loyalty or whatever. This could be her again. Maybe. I didn't see her face. We just saw the back of her head. Then from there, oh yeah, we did get a brief scene when we got the standoff with the National Guard, Hunter and Eli. Well, we got like Jason there, so Jason's still there. The last thing to talk about, and this is in reference to Dale, we see it's the middle of the night. And there's a car that like stops in the street. It seemingly dumps a body and then takes off. I have no flipping idea who this person is because I'm even going back trying to, go in slow motion. But it's not really a moving. We don't see the body being tossed. We just see the body in the middle of the street and the car speeding off because I can't. Even if this was a high quality, HD version of the trailer, I can't tell. I believe the person, and look, like I said, this is a night shot, so it's hard to tell. I think the person is shoeless because I think I see like the light reflecting off of their soles. I cannot tell if that's a white person's foot or a black person's foot because, that could possibly narrow it down. It looks like they're wearing blue jeans. I don't know. I can't tell because it looks like they're wrapped up in something black or something. Because I'm not going to hold you. My first instinct is like, oh, I wonder if this is how Dale is going to be written out of the series. Because, and look, pre-allegations aside, and I'm being, just straightforward. And I mentioned that, fans in general thought this. Remember when when Nancy took all of Richard's money from the accounts and everything and went on some just crazy spending spree and buying all sorts of alcohol and giving money away, and she bought Dale a car. And after everything that had been going on, fans were like, if Dale had any sense, he would hop in that car and just leave DC as soon as possible. Just leave. I'm not saying, Kyle or whoever wouldn't try to find him, but there is so much going on at the White House right now. That's not even a factor. And plus, wasn't he on the run from some pimp or something? Take that car that is most likely full of gas, that's already paid for, that I believe Nancy even put it in Dale's name, and go. There is absolutely no reason for you to still be in DC. And to be quite honest, that should have been the way he was written out of the series to begin with. Well, at least, when the show was still going before the lengthy hiatus. So, yeah. Could this be Dale? Maybe. And let's not forget, aside from that pimp or whatever, Kareem's cousin, because what was his name? Alonzo, the dude who's an agent at the White House, he showed up to the pharmacy to get the drugs for Hunter. And it turns out Dale doesn't know like this was the pharmacy was a front for a drug operation. So when Kareem's cousin found out about the situation, if those drugs aren't brought back, the cartel is going to come after us. And that's when he takes a photo of Dale and sends it to the guy, and it's like, hey, sorry about this, the cartel's coming after you. It's either you or me. And then he leaves. So basically, Dale has had a cartel after him, but that storyline seems to have been dropped for the past season and a half. So maybe they finally got him and they killed him. I have no idea. But yeah, that's all I got to say about that. I mean, plus we do have that one scene where it looks like a white guy is running to the house that Priscilla's in. I don't know. Like I said, it's a bit blurry. I can't tell. So yeah, in terms of the trailer, that is pretty much it. The Oval Season 6 will continue November 4th, and assuming there are no hiatus periods or doubling up of episodes, the show should go until January the 18th, and I believe Season 7 has already been filmed, so we'll just have to wait and see how things play out. But as always, folks, thanks so much for tuning in. Shout out to the channel members once more. Make sure you like and subscribe. Comment your thoughts if you're excited about the Oval's return, and I'll catch you all in the next video.